Our second game of the day is going to be on Fighting Spirit up here in the top right-hand corner for dM-fire up 1-0 in the series. It's JR, 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 which I'm just going to be calling JR for this particular game. And down here in the bottom left-hand corner in the beautiful yellow, our Zergy player from CuteSmall, it's going to be daaki, or just daaki. So it's going to be Fighting Spirit in cross-map positions. This is somewhat nice for our Zerg player because they're going to be allowed to take a break early on. They don't have to worry about frontal pushes getting to the front too soon. But because they are in the cross positions, the third base is always going to be slightly closer to the turn. It's going to be pretty hard to get that third base up. And ZBT is all about getting that third base, getting that third gas up. If you can't get that third gas up, it's very easy to starve against the Terran player. No early pool coming out from our Zerg player. Always good to check for that, just in case there might be something tricky like a 9 pool or even a 4 pool if they're crazy enough to do it. In any case, it's just going to be a very standard opening for both players. So Overlord's going to be making its way northwards. Fun fact about this map is you always want to be scouting clockwise with your Overlords because it naturally puts them in position right over this natural, allows you to get good information on your opponent's expansion, see if there's any move outs, etc. So really nice scouting so far from daaki. He's going to be able to scout over here. At the same time, SCV is going to be scouting over here. The SCV leaves at about the same time the Overlord arrives. He may be able to get information of where his opponent is and get a slightly quicker scout, but I guess it doesn't matter because he's probably going to be going down to that bottom left-hand corner anyway. 12 hatch coming down for daaki. He's going to be going for an economical build to start things off. Looks like he's saving up larva, so we are going to have that safer 11 pool to start things off. It's slightly, I think this spawning pool is alright. It might be slightly in the way of gas mining. Barracks coming down at the front. No gas, so we are going to be seeing very standard openings from both of these players. Sending out even a second SCV is JR, but now that he sees his opponent, he's going to be sitting over here. And wow, a bunker coming down immediately, so he's looking to put on the pressure, but Overlord is going to be here to scout this. This is not a big deal for daaki. He's actually maybe overcommitting pulling this many drones, but he hasn't scouted his opponent yet, so he's not really sure what's coming his way. He actually didn't get the full scout off. He didn't walk in there with his drone, so a little bit unfortunate for daaki. He's not going to have a good idea of what's going on. Right now, he's just going to be whittling away this bunker. And this was a very nice, cute little pressure coming out from JR. He's going to do some serious economic damage to his opponent by forcing this many drones to be pulled for absolutely no investment. So really good stuff from JR so far. He's going to be expanding behind this and taking that gas. Is he going to be going into that +1 5 racks that has become so popular in TVZ? Or is he going to be going for something a little bit more standard? No gas yet for daaki, and I'm a little bit worried that he's not going to be able to have the gas count later on to take up to the lair quickly to go ahead and deal with what his opponent has to throw at him. But for right now, he's just going to tag this SCV and start running across the map, get a good idea of what his opponent is doing. It is possible to take early damage from 3 to 4 marine pokes if you're not paying attention to what's coming out across the map, if you don't have a good scout. So just trying to get a little bit of information. No, he's going to be coming back to snipe this SCV, but still no gas for daaki. It looks like he really did take a lot of economic damage early on, so he's just going to be going for this third hatch now, going to be getting his gas a little bit later, it seems like. Here's our gas going down. And we'll see how long JR can keep this SCV alive. A good Terran player can keep this SCV basically alive forever if it's just being chased by one Zergling. In this particular case, he's doing a pretty good job of keeping it alive. He's going to want to keep it alive until that lair gets up, but walking it through this ramp right into a bunch of Zerglings is not what you want to do, so that's going to be going down for JR. He's not going to have the information that he would like. He's going to have to waste a scan a little bit later on. It is going to be that +1 5 racks coming out from JR, so looking to put on a lot of pressure in the early game. Interesting placement of this Overlord. It's going to be able to here to check the gas. Usually you typically want it out here to check the move outs, but apparently he's a little bit worried about getting that second gas getting up pretty early. Meanwhile, behind this, daaki just trying to get his economy back up, but still no lair coming out from him. This is very, very late on the lair. He's actually going to be going into Zergling speed. Are we going to be seeing a Zergling all in? That's usually the follow-up when you go for the Zergling speed first instead of the lair. Could just be a very unrefined build. 5 racks coming down now for JR, so he's going to be in a fantastic position to hold this anyway. He's got this very nice bunker here as well as a slight wall off, so he's going to be really well positioned to deal with any sort of Zergling shenanigans that come his way. And actually it looks like it's going to be a very fast third base for daaki over here in the 9 o'clock position. This is not standard. Usually you want to get that corner base, but if he decides to go ahead and take this base right here, that's going to give him a lot of control over his first 3 bases and allow him to very safely take this. However, it does create some problems in the late game when you try to start going for that 4th gas as well. So we'll see how well this turns out for him. We have the lair coming up right now. Is he going to be going into the Hydralisk Den? He is, so we're definitely just going to be going straight into lurkers, and I think that's a great idea considering he went ahead and got this third base with the ramp right over here. Firebat's coming out here for JR even before getting the medic, so this is going to be a very aggressive first push when it does come out. Immediately going into the factory. Usually you build a couple more rounds of units, but in this particular case JR wants to go ahead and take up very quickly against his opponent, maybe scouting that his opponent did go for that hard counter to the +1 5 racks, which is immediately into the lurkers. He's going to be starting to push out right now. He really wants to scout out these third bases in the bottom right hand corner and the top left and try to deny that as much as possible, but in this particular case he's going to be a little bit surprised because this third base is not where it should be. So we are going to be having those lurkers coming out pretty soon for daaki. Meanwhile, JR just continuing to macro up. He's going to be pushing out a ton of units over the next couple minutes, and maybe getting this factory too early, not such a great idea. He's actually just going to be going straight into the machine shop, so not too worried about getting his starports up. Instead, he's going to be going for somewhat of a hybrid here, getting up the starport at the same time that he's getting up his vultures and the spider mines. Big push moving out across the map right now, and these do have +1, so they're going to be very strong. Is he going to have enough to actually break his opponent, though? Where are the lurkers? They're only just now going to be getting over here to this ramp, not even morphed yet, so this is going to be a little bit of a rough defense for our Zerg hero daaki. He's actually made quite a few drones that he's transferring over to the third base. This is a few sunkens. It's going to be a pretty good defense, but with no lurkers here and nothing to defend, this could be disastrous for him. He's got to pull back units now. This is, so far, one of the sunkens is go down. Is he going to be able to get the good angle on these Zerglings? Right now the Zergling's pushing back, but the sunken is so low. I honestly think that JR could have broken his opponent right there, but playing a little bit safer. Finally, we have these lurkers over here on the high ground, so it's going to be safe for daaki right now. He's gotten his third base up. He's survived the first push. He's definitely sighing a breath of relief right now, feeling the pressure come off him a little bit. Meanwhile, it's actually going to be the tanks, so not going to be going for the newer school build of either going for SK Terran or going for lots of vultures early on. Instead, it's going to be our tank vessel standard army. It's going to be a very strong ground army for JR. He's going to be really able to put on the pressure early on. It looks like he did scout out this third base. He knows that it's over here, and there's nothing he can do about it right now. I would actually like to see a third CC go down pretty soon. He may have overcommitted to these bunkers right now, because if those bunkers right there, he could probably already be making a third CC. The SCV count is a little bit low, but look at this monstrous army right now. This is absolutely insane, and I'm not sure that Zerg has enough to deal with it right now. These are still unmorphed lurkers, and the push is coming out across the map right now. Is it going to be doing some serious damage, or is it going to be the death of daaki? We'll have to see. He's pushing out so far, taking his time, just kind of allocating all his units. Very nice flank over here coming out from daaki. He's getting the really nice job of getting a good angle on this, but he's just going to move in here without any lurkers. That's very ill-advised. You really need those lurkers to be sandwiching in between, and actually it doesn't look like he's even going to be making the lurkers. It's just going to be those Hydralisks. Now the siege tank's in position. in range of the sunken colony, they're going to start sieging that down. Is the flank going to be good enough for daaki, or is he just going to outright lose right now? Maybe just investing a little bit too much into that third base and not quite getting what he needed out. Slow leapfrog is coming in right now, and this is going to be painful. Where's that science vessel? Is that coming out across the map right now? Looks like it is, so no amount of lurkers is going to be breaking him right now. Finally, all these lurkers are done, but there's nothing to actually screen for them, so they're just going to be running straight into this. He's running in right now with the lurkers. Is he going to be able to get on top of this? This is a beautiful flank right now. Is he going to get on top of all these units? Beautiful stuff. The lurker's doing so much damage, but is it enough? Looks like it may well be. He's finally got a couple more coming up, and this push has been absolutely crushed by daaki and this mass lurker. So beautiful stuff coming out from him, being able to just absolutely crush that with tons and tons of units. And this is starting to hurt for JR. His first attack was thwarted. His second attack was thwarted. He's got some good tech, but behind this, his opponent... he's still in the lair. There's no hive tech on the way. This is actually... Even with that huge win for daaki right now, he really needs to be getting that hive right away. Where's the queen cess? Still no queen cess coming down. This is very, very dangerous, because once the science vessel count gets in the high numbers, once these sea shanks get into high numbers, it can be devastating. But in this particular case, JR is just going to keep on the pressure, and no swarm yet. It's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with. It really just comes down to JR's control. Small, cute little counterattack coming in over here. Not at all to see a small, cute counterattack coming in from daaki on Team CuteSmall, though. These two lurkers still guarding over here, so it's pretty much impossible to push up into this base, and JR needs to be careful with his rally points, make sure all of his units are moving together. He doesn't want these tanks and these vessels wandering around outside by themselves. This other vessel just looks like it's going to be scouting out across the map. Daaki's doing pretty well so far, even morphing a couple more lurkers, so there's just going to be a ton of lurkers out on the map. This is a very heavy investment into lair tech, but it does run out on a timer. Once the vessel count gets high enough, once you can just irradiate all of those lurkers, it's not really much of a big deal. But right now the science vessels are just sitting over here instead of being with the army. They really need to help out over here. We got our first couple of irradiates going down, and the siege tanks that can out-siege these lurkers, so this is going to be a little bit difficult, but he needs to keep a good eye out on the flank, which is what these two science vessels are doing. They're trying to make sure that nothing's coming his way, but a couple Scourge could just run over there and snipe that very easily. Let's see if JR splits better this time around, or if he's going to be prepared. He's going to actually meet the pressure head on this time, not afraid to just go ahead and start pushing very aggressively. But he needs to start pushing up with these siege tanks, moving it a little bit more slowly. Behind this, he's starting his transition into vultures. So that's very nice for him. He's going to be starting to get a little bit more map control. Meanwhile, no third base for JR, so he's really heavily committing to this two base pressure. If he doesn't really do significant damage with this one, that's going to be the third KO punch that has not landed, and that's not going to be very good for him at all. He needs to be careful with these medics, make sure they don't get out of position. And here comes the big attack by daaki. Can he break his opponent? The split from daaki is pretty good, but JR just has a really strong position. Looks like these Hydra's doing quite a bit of damage, though. Hydra's very good against the marine tank, but it is going to get cleaned up. And now daaki has access to this high ground. He's got the last irradiate on this lurker, so he's going to be able to push up here very shortly, start doing some severe damage to this third base. He needs to be careful with his units, though, make sure they don't get sniped too easily. And daaki is starting to hurt. This is what happens when you don't have the hive. He's got the queen cess down, but still never got the hive. And Evo Chamber now being killed before +2 finishes. This is super painful. Third base is going to be going down. How does daaki salvage this situation right now? Is he going to be going for, is this an Overlord drop? No, it's just going to be an Overlord hanging out in the middle of the map. Looks like he's really committing to this Hydra lurker pressure, maybe hoping to crush his opponent's next attack, but this is not looking good for daaki at all. Behind this, JR is going to be taking his third base, although it is going to be scattered out by Zergling, maybe stopped from putting down anything for right now. But this is just great news for JR right now. He's going to be adding on that second factory, getting tons of tanks out. We should maybe see actually a mech play coming in pretty soon. Yeah, sacrifice a couple of his bio over here, so it looks like he's definitely prepared to go into that mech play, or he just made a huge colossal control error, one of the two. Their base is actually going to be coming down over here in the top corner up here in the 12 o'clock position, and looks like it was just a mistake. He's continuing to make tons and tons of units, so we'll definitely be seeing a lot more bio pressure coming out on the map. This one science vessel, what is it doing? What is it looking for? It looks like maybe just getting a scout out on the map. He needs to make sure not to leave these science vessels hanging around for too long, or else they can get sniped really easily. Oh, that one science vessel getting out of position, going to be sniped down really easily. And is daaki just going to go for the counter pressure play to try to even up the game, or is he just going to play it a little bit slow? Looks like he's just going to be pulling back right now while reestablishing his third base. And this is such an extreme pivot to the Hydra Lurker. You don't normally see this in ZVT because of the cost efficiency of Lings, but because he's been able to sit on these three bases for so long, he's in good position to... he had a lot of gas to go ahead and throw into those, especially with the delayed Hive, but now we have Hive on the way, so he's going to finally be able to get out the Defilers, be able to start getting some really nice plagues onto his opponent, and actually double expanding behind this. This is very nice from daaki. When you know you're behind, you got to take that risk and go ahead and go for the double expand. So he's starting to push up over here. He doesn't need to force anything though. He's done a pretty good job of just taking the risk of taking that double expand. Pushing right now doesn't make a lot of sense, but so far this has been really nice. He's gotten a lot of damage done on all those Marines, and that was actually a very cost-efficient trade for daaki right now. He's just going to pull back and start getting some map control. Meanwhile, is the mech switch underway? It doesn't look like it is, so we're still waiting for that mech switch, but oh, we got a dropship in the house. So there's going to be a lot of pressure now out on the map, especially getting into these third and fourth bases of the Zerg player. Because you can just fly directly over those lurkers, not going to be a big deal. Third base is well established for JR, and he's going to be in a pretty solid spot right now. daaki needs to make sure he continues to macro, make sure he continues to make those drones. He really needs to get that saturation up. Oh my gosh, we're going to be going into Queens instead. This is very atypical, but I really like this play against Marine Tank. When you go for the Lurker Hydra Queen, it is very gas intensive, but it's very strong against these tanks because you just snipe a couple tanks, and then with a good spread, the Hydra Lurker can easily clean up afterwards. So both players really just duking it out really hard, slugfest back and forth, and so far I would still have to give the lead to JR, but every single time he's attacked, his attacks have been cleaned up and eventually destroyed by daaki, and daaki's done a really good job of getting this other base up. He's up to 4 bases buying now. He really needs to get those saturated though. Behind this, he's just waiting to build up some energy on these queens and get ready for the big push that's going to be coming in. Meanwhile, we're just going to have a... looks like we're just going to have a moment of just building up both players, trying to get up their economy, trying to get up their infrastructure, and with these extra factories coming in, I definitely expect to see these barracks lifting off pretty soon and just scouting around the map. Fourth base coming down now for JR as well, so he's going to have a pretty good spot in this map. Putting down some spider mines over here. It's basically impossible to get into these Terran bases with all these spider mines now. Very fantastic spot for JR, and it looks like he's going to be going for the map split. Meanwhile, dropship coming down here in the 6 o'clock base. Is it going to be able to do enough damage? Nothing here to defend, so actually this base is going to be going down. This is really brutal at a time when daaki needed that extra base. Beautiful drop play coming out from JR. These Hydras should be able to clean it up eventually, especially with only one medic here. But these Marines being very cost efficient against the Hydras, being able to shoot down quite a few of them. And that's a little bit painful for daaki. Luckily, he does have the second hatchery here, so he could continue to mine here. It just won't be as effective as it could be. So far, JR is doing a really good job. I definitely expect to see the reset coming in, but he's moving out with his tanks right now, and this is a little bit ill-advised moving out with just pure tanks. Luckily, he does get a few snipes on these lurkers, so good stuff coming out from him. He's just going to be trying to clean up the rest of the lurkers on the map without taking too much damage. And this has been a very nice play so far. He's going to be able to clean up this side of the map. Are these Overlord drops? Looks like they aren't. It's just going to be Overlords flying around the map, trying to get some vision. And Daaki's going to be hurting a little bit. This is a very strong force. He was trying to put together the perfect anti-marine tank composition, but is it going to be enough? He's starting to chase down the vessels right now, but not getting enough. Lots of links coming in right now. Are they going to actually be able to get on top of this? Right now, beautiful spawn broodlings coming in, being able to kill off a couple of those tanks, but he lost a lot in the process. And with his economy already hurting, I'm not sure that daaki has what it takes to actually hold off this next attack. There are still tons of tanks, and as long as the macro behind this is good, JR is going to be a fantastic position to take this game. He's pushing into the natural now. He's got lots of units, and the siege up almost directly on top of this stuff. He needs to make sure he saves these tanks. Oh no, the tank's taking a ton of damage, one of them going down for free. But he is going to start getting on top of this natural right now, and daaki has nothing to defend. So this hatch is going down for free. If he gets on top of that Hydralisk, then that could also be a big deal, since Hydralisk are such an important part of daaki's composition. Hydralisk then going down, and nothing else here to defend. One of the science vessels going down, which is a little bit nice for him, but there's the GG. daaki just not being able to hold on to the pressure. Crushes the first two attacks, but not the last one.